John Anthony.
I'm wiped out, John.
Amir.
My business, my house, my credit, everything.
Amir, it's gonna be okay, all right? We're gonna get back on track this weekend. You hear me?
Still, you talk like this. Who the fuck are you? Like this is some kind of game. You ruined me. I was betting a few thousand a Sunday when I called you, but you pushed me. Every call, all the time with your talk. I lost 380,000 this weekend. I was going to get married. I had a life. Oh, no words now, huh? No more money to squeeze, so you shut up? How do you fucking live with yourself?
What the problem is?
It's all right, he's okay.
I'll come back later.
No, stick around. Stay. These guys have finished, right? I mean, you guys want anything before you go? Something to eat? You leave the way you came in, fellas. Thank you. Shut the door.
Who's that?
You know, we need a bat light or something, you know, one of them signals you just shoot up into the clouds so that no matter where you are, what time of day, you just look up, you say, hey, Walter needs me. Because I must have beeped you 100 fucking times.
Who are they, man?
The Salvation Army. How does someone go 1 for 8? A fucking monkey tossing darts could do better than that.
What's with all the money, Walter?
I got a plan. We take all your picks. We reverse everything. You know, like one of them Twilight Zone episodes where everything is opposite. You say black, we go white.
How much is that?
Peanuts. 275,000. That's how desperate I am.
What happened to the $2 million?
2 mil? Man, I was carrying twice that in red ink before you even showed up. Look around you. Everything you see is smoke and mirrors. I got 3 mortgages on this house. What do you want to know? I'm gambling again. Cover my losses, I just got a loan from a guy who works out of a bar on 106th and Broadway. Trouble with me is, I start betting you heavy after you win 100%, and I rode you right into the fucking toilet.
I do know what the problem is, man. I'm gonna take care of all this shit. Check this out. I'm Brandon Lang. All right, I'm the kid who played sports. I'm the kid who loves sports. I'm the kid who can pick the winners. I'm the kid you called Las Vegas. Somewhere along the way, man, I lost something in here. I don't know what. But I know I gotta go back to being me. I gotta go back to being Brandon. And if I get back to being Brandon...
You can pick again. Of course. Forget John Anthony.
That's it.
Burn the suits. My fault. I fucked with you. Only 2 games. 2 winners. 2 over-unders.
That's right.
We get you to crunch the numbers. Sprinkle a little of the Brandon magic over it, right? We get the salespeople burning up the phones. Come Monday, we go 4 for 4.
4 for 4.
Isn't that something?
How's that sound?
This is important, you know.
I know it's important.
It's very important.
Pressure doesn't help.
Let's go eat something. Come on. Let's go to Smith & Woe.
Brandon's gotta stay here and do some homework.
The Brandon thing. See? I'm forgetting. Oh, right.
Smell the gumbo. You're listening to Cajun Sports Radio.
Welcome, guys, to NFL Week 17 college football, or NFL Week 17 and college football bowls betting preview. A little show I figured I would do late on this Friday evening, early Saturday morning here. It is just me tonight. Call the show, text the show at 318-613-0182. You can come on the chat box on Spreaker.com and get your questions answered about any game this weekend that is playable. And we're going to go over the bowl games, starting with tomorrow's game and tomorrow's games. We're getting into the BCS action, and then we'll go week 17. We'll look at all the games that we have. It's a straight Sunday day, and then get with that big Sunday night game, which most of America will be betting on. Most of the action of the betting public will be going into that game on Sunday. That will be a high betted game. But I start this show, and even though I was just going to base this show on betting, to say that we have great news. Sean Payton signs he agrees to the principle of a 5-year deal that is supposedly from sources going to be, or from CBS Sports, that's the only source that's out, going to be a $7.5 million deal. So we'll see. So let's get into some action here, and we're going to start off with the bowl games, and then we're going to work our way down, or work our way up to the NFL. Let's start off with the Armed Forces Bowl. This is going to be in Fort Worth, Texas, and it's going to kick off at 11:45. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you Central Times. 10:45 Central in the morning between Air Force and Rice. Air Force is favored by 2 points. The total currently is at 62. From what I'm seeing in this game, basically, Rice kind of got some momentum going towards the end of the season, and Air Force did the opposite. They kind of fell off, and Air Force, here's a trend for you. Air Force went 1-6 against the spread as a favorite this season. They were 2-4 against the spread versus, this is Air Force, versus bowl teams this season. It's just the only good trend that they have going for them is that military teams are 25-10 against the spread in bowl games since 1980. But Rice actually opened up as the favorite in this one, but the line moved all the way to now Air Force being the favorite, and I don't get that. I mean, I already put my action in on Rice. Rice destroyed SMU to get into bowl play, and look what SMU did, the other night in their bowl game. It's going to be played in Fort Worth, which of course gives Rice the home field if there is any. And it's going to be an early morning game, which comfort level comes into play. The play in this one will be Rice +2. That's the play that I'm giving you in this one. That's the side that I like. Rice +2 in that one. Okay. Our next game is the... Okay, we're going to go through all of these. It'll take me forever to go through all of them. Okay, here we're back on Cajun Sports Radio. Sorry about that. We were previewing once again, the bowls, if you didn't catch our pick, we picked Rice +2 in that first one tomorrow. And the Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth. Next one is after that, which is a 3 p.m. Central Time kickoff. Arizona State Navy and the Fight Hunger Bowl, which Arizona State is favored at 14, with the total being at 52.5. Once again, I want to remind you, if you have questions about any of these games, chat box at Spreaker, you'll see the little word box. Click on that and put your 2 cents in, or you can text the show at 318-613-0182. I would love to hear any of your comments or questions, whatever. Let's get into this. Let's make some money here. All right. Let's see here. Okay. See what kind of edge we can get on this one. This one, believe it or not, when you have these big spreads like this, it's one of those things in a game like this. I'm going to tell you. I look at, I'm reviewing trends right now, and I looked at this game earlier, and I didn't see anything out of this. So for now, and I will update you on this, if I do change my mind in this game. But from what I could see, I don't have a play on this one. Yeah, I'm not giving a play out on this one. Okay, so we're just going to move on. Okay, I tell you what, I think I changed my mind with all of these bowl games. I'm gonna give you what y'all want to know. Let's do some NFL, and then we'll preview that LSU Clemson bowl game. Then we'll work around, depending on how much time we have. We'll come back to these bowl games. Because I'm going through all of these bowl games here. Unless y'all have questions about any of them, most of y'all aren't going to bet them. Like I said, I just don't. I'm going through all of these, and I don't see what the point of giving y'all every single bet or in every single bowl, But I can give y'all a pick on every single NFL game, and I think y'all could use that more. So let's go to the NFL, the big money sport, and then we'll come back, and like I said, we'll preview the LSU Clemson point spread, because we'll talk to y'all after that. That's about the only game that most of the listeners will be betting or show interest in. So let's do that, and depending on the time frame, we'll preview some other bowl games. But like I said, I'm going to give you every single NFL game and preview it right here. Okay, let's start off with the first game in rotation. New York Jets, Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's getting 3.5. Or Buffalo's favored by 3.5. Total being at 38.5. Low total, which actually no, for these two teams, probably a high total. So let's see here. This is kind of another one of those toss-up games. Alright, here's the trends here. And all of these trends, by the way, of course, brought to you by CajunSportsRadio.com. Now, we know those problems the Jets are having, but come to find out, McElroy had a hidden injury. Now Sanchez has to come back in, and come to find out, Tebow was still angry about it. Okay, here's some good trends here in this series. Jets are 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 in Buffalo. Jets are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings altogether. This is all between the two. Over is 4-1 in the last 5. Under is 3-1 in the last 5 in Buffalo. Jets are 1-4 in their last 5 games overall. Bills are 2-5 in their last 7 versus the AFC East. Bills 2-7 in their last 9 games in December, and over is 7-2 in the Bills' last 9 home games. Wow. This thing here is a nightmare. But I'm going to tell you, with all the things going on with the Jets and it being at home for Buffalo, I'm saying Buffalo's a good team, but I think Buffalo, finishes the season off strong. I'm gonna say not a bad pick at Buffalo at 3.5, even though there's a lot of action coming in on New York from what I'm hearing. So yeah, my pick here from Cajun Sports Radio is gonna be. But you look here, I say that, but then I like to bet with trends. And Jets are 4-0 against the spread in Buffalo. Bills are 2-4 against the AFC East. Bills 2-7 in December. I like that trend that the Jets are 4-0 in Buffalo. Sanchez comes back in after being benched. I don't know. I'm changing my pick. Tell you what. Let's go on the Jets here. Let's take the Jets plus the 3.5, which you might get it between 3 and 4. Let's go with the Jets in this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets plus 3.5 in this one. Okay. Next game. Make sure I'm picking them in the right order here. Jaguars, Titans. Jaguars, Titans. Right, it opened up at Titans minus 4.5, and the total being at 41.5. It has now, at some books, moved to 4. Still 41.5. Tennessee minus 4 is what I meant to say. And the total at 4.5. Jags 4-0 against the spread in the last 4 meetings. Under, here's some trends I like. Under is 3-0 in the last 4 meetings in Tennessee. Under is 5-0 in the last 6 meetings between these two teams. Jags 6-2 on the road. Titans are 1-4 in their last 5 overall. How about this? And this is all against the spread trends. Titans 1-6 in their last 7 in December. Under 8-3 for the Titans in their last 12 home. Under 5-2 for the Titans in their last 8 in December. Man, these trends for the under have. You got that 5-0 in the last 6 meetings between the two. Then you got the 3-0 in the last 4 in Tennessee. Yeah, I'll tell you what. With it being at where it's at 41.5, and it being in Tennessee, let's go ahead and take the under in this one. Which we're looking at sunny weather and about 40 degrees. So, yeah, I tell you what though, we'll go ahead here and take the under in this game. Tennessee, a lot of people liking this game. I don't in this spot. I mean, maybe win, but I just don't trust Tennessee at 4.5. I don't care who they're playing. I don't trust Tennessee unless it's a pick 'em. I'm not saying that they can't cover it, but let's go ahead and play it safe here, guys, and take the under at 41.5 in this game. Jaguars Titans under 41.5. So far the picks I've given you, I gave you Rice at +2, and I gave you Jets +3.5. This next one is gonna be between Titans and Jags. I call them the Jags. Under 41.5. So moving right along now. Okay. Let's see. I know what we need here. I know what we're missing to get things. Alright, now we're ready to pick. Okay, let's move on. Next game. Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati favored by 1 point. Baltimore's still playing for something, if I'm not mistaken. I think that they could still, by some chance, get a bye. I think. I'm not for sure on that. I didn't get on. I should have been more on top of that. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Baltimore is out of the bye hunt, and the Bengals are locked into the 5 seed. Both these teams aren't playing for anything, basically. This is just, in my opinion, a risky game. You could look at trends. You could look at, the Bengals are getting 2.5 because the way I think Vegas feels, if one team had to pull its starters first, it's definitely going to be the Ravens. But what's interesting is this can be our 4-5 matchup. These two could rematch next week. Yeah, because, okay, right now, it would be 1 seed would go to either Denver, Houston, say 2 Houston, 3 New England, 4 Baltimore, and the Bengals are locked in at the 5. So this is probably going to be a rematch next week. So I wouldn't see either one of these teams giving anything out. That hasn't been discussed this week, but this is probably going to end up being a rematch, most likely, possibly. I'm not going to give a pick on this game. It's nothing to play for here, other than getting somebody hurt. No importance to this game, and I'm not saying that the other two I gave you, the New York, Buffalo, and Jacksonville, Tennessee game, but I'm just saying that this one is about as useless as they come. So I'm gonna say they sit their starters in this one. So I'm not gonna give a pick. So we'll move on to the next one. Once again, would really like to hit your info on some of these games. Do that at the chat box on the show. You can you can click on that little word box, chat there, or text the show at 318-613-0182. Go to CajunSportsRadio.com. Multiple ways to get in touch with us here, and this is just a special episode that I'm doing because I came back home and was bored, so I figured we'll see how this works. Since the whole betting thing is at basically its peak right now with the bowl games going on, and we got the playoffs coming up. I mean, things are heating up. So I'm gonna give you a no pick on that, like I said on that one. Let's move on to the next one. Houston, Indy. Now this one, yeah, there could be something. Well, Indy's not playing for anything, but they got their coach back. Houston is. Houston's playing for home field. But what's interesting is there's a lot of action at home coming in on Indy because Indy's going to be playing to win this game. Let's see if I can what I can find on this one. Because yeah, this one, believe it or not, is big for the Texans. Not so much for the Colts, but Colts might be coming out, with Chuck back. Might be trying to win this thing. 7 points, the Texans, on the road. Total at 46.5 is what it opened at. Let's see if it's still there. Right now, actually, the total's closed at most sports books. So, yeah, right now you're going to get it at about 46.5. You're going to be in that dome. Of course, both teams used to playing inside. Here we go. Under is 4-0 in the last 4 between these teams. The home team is 5-0. And by the way, every record that I'm going to give you, of course, is an against the spread trend. I'm not giving you overall. Home team 5-0 in the last 5. Texans 5-2 in their last 7 following a double-digit loss at home. Colts 8-2 in their last 7. I'm sorry, in their last 10. Over 7-1 in Houston. Man, I'm looking at this. Under 11-1 in the Colts' last 12 versus that in their side there, that division. Under 6-1 in the last 7 versus a team with the winning record for the Colts. And the Colts, for the Colts, under is 17-7 in their last 24. Wow. I like the under here, and I think that's the smartest bet, would have been at 46.5, and you not knowing what's going to happen with Indy's players. Who's going to sit, who's going to, how much play. Then you got an Arian Foster, who's not all healthy. We'll see. I mean, he's going to play, but I know he's not completely healthy. You get Chuck back in. I don't know how he's going to want to handle this. We're going to go under 46.5 right now. And something's going on because of the sportsbook that I play at. They got this thing closed. Let's see if I can refresh this and see if they have it open by now. But they have it closed, which is interesting. I don't know what that, of course something's going on. Somebody either just laid a lot of money on one side and they're adjusting it, which is most probable, or they don't know which way to go with it. A lot of action coming in on Indy +7. I don't trust either side. I'm going to go with the total under 46.5 in this one. So let's put it on the board. Colts, Texans, under 46.5. Okay. Probably post these to CajunSportsRadio.com after the show. Alright, let's move on. Philly, New York. Now, this is a very interesting game, and it got more interesting when we found out that Michael Vick will be playing. Because this will be Michael Vick's possible last game, him and Andy Reid's last game. And the Giants need this one. Philly getting a lot of love right now. Spread right now is 8 points. It is the Giants -8. But a lot of action has been coming in on Philly. And who knows, man, with this one, with the way the Giants have been playing and with the way the Eagles have been playing, really you can't trust either one of these teams, which makes this interesting, and both teams are going to be playing their hearts out. Or at least they're both going to be playing in this one. There won't be any sitting of starters or anything like that. This will be a play here. So in games like this, it's going to be fun. Like I said, it's Andy Reid's and Michael Vick's going away party, basically. And that's what you're getting here. You're going to get a focused Michael Vick. I really think so. And like I said, it opened up at Giants at 7.5. It moved to 8. And you got the total at 46. That's what it was. Like I said, it's kind of shifting and moving. But of course, we all know that adjusts and everything. But let's just go on. I'm rambling here. Let's get to the pick. And some of these trends you need to know. Eagles are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 in New York. Eagles 7-1 in the last 9. Well, 7-1-1. That's probably 1-0. I said 9. Under 4-1, over 4. How about this road team? 3-0 ATS in that last 4 between the two. Eagles 2-8 in the last 11 versus the NFC. They've struggled all year. And then the Giants actually 2-6 ATS versus a team with a losing record. Man, everything's pointing to the Eagles in this one. You got, like I said, Andy Reid. Him and Michael Vick putting out a party, basically. They're both, I mean, more than likely they're going to be gone at the end of the season. The Giants, man, this doesn't look like a playoff team. They would need some help to get in. I don't know if this team's focused. This is a bad spot for the Giants. I'm not saying they're not going to win, but I think 8 points is a little much. I think Vegas has this one wrong. I'm going to take Philly or Philadelphia plus the points, plus 8 or plus wherever you can get it at. You probably get it at around 7.5, something like that. But I'm going to put it at 8 because that's what I have it at right now. Philly plus 8. Like I said, the total is 46. Between these two, I'd leave that alone, especially with Philly's offense. We'll go one side on that one. Okay. Next one in rotation would be... No, we're going to skip that. It'll be the last one. Okay, let's go Chicago, Detroit. Chicago, Detroit here. This is in Detroit. Chicago has a lot to play for. Not much for Detroit. I think Calvin Johnson has a chance to break another record, but whatever. Let's see here. And if you are listening, once again, chime in here. This is the first ever betting show I've done, and I'm doing it by myself, so it's a little different. Chime in if you have anything to add, or any questions, or anything like that, whatever. Just chime in here on the box, on Spreaker.com. So, let's get into something here with this. And this is a big robbery. Lions and Bears. Always a fun game. Even if it ends in a blowout, something always happens in this game that's fun. So, and like I said, the Bears still have a really, really good shot at making the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, it's either going to be them. If they win and Minnesota loses to Green Bay, I think they would get this. They'd get the nod. They'd get in. So yeah, because they have one less loss than the Giants. Let's see here. When it gets okay, let's see. Okay, we got a 101.9, the Mix FM. You chimed in with his last week, and you're saying is that your number? You would like to be on the show? Okay, that's fine. Here, let's see if we can get 101.9 here on the Mix. It's a slow night here, and we're gonna connect them through our good friends at Skype. They do a good job of that here, and I don't know his name or her name. We're about to find out. Let's connect. 636-1468. Alright, you're getting called, buddy. This is 101.9. let us know, or let me know. Say us. It's just me in here tonight. And I'll call you back. Let's see if I can get some more of these games here. All right, game I tried to predict or pick a while ago, but I was kind of thrown off. Okay, let's go back. Here we go. Bears-Lions game. Right now, it's currently, and like I said, the Bears are in a do-or-die situation. They're going to need some help from Green Bay, though. Bears -3, and that total was at 44.5. It's in Detroit. Detroit really has nothing to play for here, but you know, Detroit might want to play the spoiler role. They will be playing their starters. They've been out, you know, they've been out of the playoff hunt for a few weeks now. Really, they've been out of the playoff hunt since November. I mean, since Thanksgiving. So, I'm not going to say, you know, they have nothing to play for. I mean, they're just really playing to close their season out well. So, let's get down to business here. Wow. Lions 0-4 ATS in their last 4 in December. That's basically their last 4 games. Lions 2-5 ATS in their last 7 home games. Bears ain't got it much better though. Bears have not been well against the spread in their last 7. This is a toss-up, but here's a good trend. Over is 11-5-1 in Lions' last 17 games overall. Okay. And by the way, when it gets hot, and I'm just skimming through all this to remember it. Experts like the Lions in this one. You know, some of the people that I get some good picks from, like Detroit at home in this one, man. And they play the spoiler alert here, and in the Bears season for sure. Because if the Bears lose, it's over with. They will not make the playoffs. But man, in this type of spot when it's close, and with Detroit struggling this whole month. Yeah, the Bears didn't play that great against Arizona last week. But this is a division game. I know a lot of pressure here, but at least they won't have the pressure of the home crowd. They'll be on the road. I think, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, I'll tell you what, I'll say in this one, let's go over in this one. Yeah, let's take the over. I'll say that this was going to end up being a shootout. That these two teams will go back and forth on each other. Keep in mind, the Bears' defense has been struggling since Urlacher's been out. They've had some other key injuries on that defense. We know Detroit's defense has been down. So, yeah, you know, because it's at home, it's a division game. Let's play it safe and take the over in this one. Yeah, let's take the over. This Bears over. Okay, once again, we tried to get 101.9 FM. We tried to get him on the air. Couldn't connect with him. But if you want to come on the air, no matter where you're at, like I said, you come into the chat box, give us your number, and we call you. You don't call us. That's the way it works. Or you could ask us questions through the chat box. And we'll try to get them answered for you the best way that we can here on this New Year's Eve or New Year's weekend. Let's move on to the next one here. Okay, we got this other big game inside the NFC North. Green Bay, Minnesota. You got Green Bay minus 3.5 in this one. This ought to be a fun game here. As Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken, they win, they get the bye. So, and that's a big deal for them. And you know, Dad recently said on the show, you know, watch out for this Green Bay team. Watch out for this Green Bay team. It seems like they fall in that category of one of those teams that's getting healthy, and I added this. They're getting healthy at the right time. They're getting healthy at the right time. But, you know, what do we think now, though, of this Minnesota team after the way they played against Houston last week? I know Houston played bad in that game. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But we've seen teams play bad this year and still win. A la Baltimore Ravens. A la Atlanta. You know, we've seen teams, so it's not just, hey, this team beat itself. It does take effort from the other team as well, and Minnesota did what they needed to do, and you know, they did it behind Ponder. And in my opinion, I think he played well. He played very well, in my opinion. But tell you what, we're gonna try to connect once again. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's try to call Mr. 1019, that mixed FM. I'm really interested to see what he has to say on air. Okay, 636 1468. Let's see what this guy has to say on air. Okay, it looks like backed out on us. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We understand. It could be very intimidating being on Cajun Sports Radio. No problem, you know, I know we're famous and everything, and the pressure could really get to you. But, you know, that's just the way it goes. Alright. Green Bay, like I said, 3.5. And the total at 45.5. But what's interesting, you know, the line hasn't moved. Like, Vegas doesn't want to move the line, but they've been kicking up the juice on each end or lowering the juice on one end. And when they do that, they're doing that to force you to play that one side. But they want to force you to play one side without having to move the line. And that's what that's about. When you see that, when you see, you know, 3.5 spread, but on one side you might have a minus 120 juice, and another side a plus 110. It's because they're begging you to take that one side. But let me tell you this one, like I said, both teams have a lot to play for. Minnesota playing possibly for their playoff lives. More than likely, they're playing for their playoff lives. They need to win this game. Okay, under 5-0 for the Green Bay Packers in their last 5 NFC North games. I like that. Under 5-1 for the Vikings in their last 6 in the NFC North. I like those two trends. Green Bay 4-1 in their last 5 meetings. They've been playing well against the spread. Green Bay is 12-3 against the spread versus a team with a winning record. And Green Bay has played well against the spread on the road. They're 4-1 as well. Minnesota's played well against the spread at home. You know, I see good trends for Green Bay. Tell you what, since it's high and I expect Adrian Peterson to be running the ball and just for that fact, I don't know, you always taking a gamble when you pick the under when Green Bay is involved. But that's exactly what I'm going to do in this one. I'm going to go in this one. You know, I keep being pulled into the totals. I keep going with the totals. You know, people are liking Minnesota this weekend. I don't know, you know, because Green Bay is going to be playing. I understand if you would factor in which team has the most to play for, then of course you would give it to Minnesota. But I'm gonna play the odds in this one. I'm gonna play the thing that I know that I can explain to myself when I lose of why I did it, and that is the under is a good play here. Under 45.5. Minnesota Green Bay under 45.5 is what I'm giving on this one. All right, well, let's move on to the game in my area, Carolina, New Orleans. In New Orleans is a 4.5 favorite with the total at 54. Okay. I'm telling you, this is going to be a fun game right here. Saints, you know, they get that big sigh of relief tonight after finding out Sean Payton will remain a Saint. And he agrees to the principle of a 5-year, $7.5 million deal. With the Saints, he couldn't officially sign it. Okay. You know, I keep going. Every game, I bet I pull up a page for it, and I've been having to go through these pages each time. So that's why you're getting that awkward silence here. The Saints put up as a 5-point favorite, but it moved down. Like I said, it's at 4.5 now. Total 54. We all know the game will be in a dome. It's in New Orleans. This is a rivalry between these two. Both teams basically just playing to close the season out well. Carolina 10-1 ATS in their last 11 meetings in New Orleans. Carolina is 7-2 ATS in their last 9. They've been playing well. Under is 11-5 in the last 16 meetings between the two. The road team is 17-5 ATS in the last 22 with these two teams. The Panthers have played well, 5-1 ATS on the road. But the Saints have also played well ATS at home. They're 16-5. Saints, believe it or not, as bad as things have been, continue to be a good team to back. They're 17-8 overall against the spread in their last 25. Wow, you get a play. You get 2 good plays for the over. You get 1 for the under. This is really... Both these teams kind of have played well in the last few weeks. And y'all know that I am a Saints fan, but I'm looking at this game in money terms. But the thing, it is pointing to Carolina here. That total was so dang high. Man, I wish that total was a little bit lower. You know, we could do something with it. You know, I'm going to have some people ridicule me here. But, you know, like I said, you got some good things in this series. But, I tell you what. I'm going to look at this and say that the Saints aren't going to let Carolina shut them out twice. I'm going to say the Saints. This is going to end up being 54. If we could get that thing down. Let's see what it opened up at 54. Let's see what it's doing. It's still at 54, which means we're getting action on each side. I tell you what, we're still going to take the Saints. We'll take the Saints minus the 4.5. But I'm going to tell you right off the bat, no play is bad in this game. I'm serious. This is one of those games, and I've been a part of these all week betting on these bowl games. There are some plays in sports gambling where it is so close and Vegas has it so right that you could flip a coin for, and that's their goal. That's what they want. And this is one of those games, I think, for the side, the total, it's so up for grabs that you could flip a coin for either one. That I do agree with. This game is going to be fun. Saints minus 4.5 in this one. Okay, let's move on. We got Kansas City and Denver next. Wow. Denver minus 17 in this one. Denver minus